I'd like to call the March 27th meeting to order. Could I please ask Pastor Kevin DeVries to come up? He's from Monee Free Methodist Church. Thank you, Pastor Kevin.
It's my pleasure. Let me pray for us as we start. Our Father, we pause in our day to remind ourselves that we're here because of your grace and your mercy that's brought us through this day once again. Lord, there's been triumphs and trials even in this day. And Lord, we just come now to seek your wisdom and your guidance. I pray for each of these leaders as they seek to make wise decisions for this community, that you would give them your wisdom. Lord, we pray for our community, Lord, for the safety of all. Lord, for the children in our schools and the moms and dads that are caring for them, for the public safety officials that are watching over us. Lord, we just pray that your hand would be upon this village, Lord, as we seek to honor and glorify you. Lord, would you just bring your blessing upon each of the homes and all those who come in contact with the village of Monee. We pray for your guidance over the proceedings that go before us now. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. We all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Here.
Okay, we'll move on to open to the public, agenda items only. If you have something you'd like to say about the agenda, please step forward. Give your name and address. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
In a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Okay. Clerk's report.
Thank you,
Tanisha?
Mayor Pop. I just wanted to share with the residents that early voting is now in progress. We do still have a couple of days remaining for those that would like to still early vote here at the village. We have Thursday, the 28th from 12 to 7 p.m., Friday, the 29th from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and then Saturday, the 30th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Also received a message to share from South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association that Congressman Robin Kelly will host a youth job expo for young women and men between the ages of 16 and 23. That'll be on Saturday, April 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon in the Media Center of Rich Central High School. That's 5000 Sauk Trail in Richton Park. More than 50 employers will be accepting applications for active job openings, summer internships, and apprenticeships. Representatives from various agencies and youth services will also be on hand to talk with young people about program offerings and to help them succeed with that. Business attire is highly recommended to use bringing resumes, and of course the employers may be conducting on-site interviews. Also, prior to the expo, Robin Kelly is sponsoring a jobs readiness workshop to help young people enhance their interview skills, build their resumes, and more. And the workshops will take place on Thursday, April 3rd at 4 o'clock p.m. That's at Rich Central High School. Any questions with that, you can contact Ms. Hope Stovall at 708-710-2643. And to pre-register for the job fair, you visit Rep. Robin Kelly, eventbrite.com for more info. End of report.
Thank you very much, Tanisha. Under my report, I'd like to ask Mr. Lee Boswell to step forward, and Trustee Udris make a presentation to Lee.
Those who don't know Lee Boswell is
was with Mulligan's over at Maine and Route 50 for how many years? Too many. Well, while running a business, Lee also put in some service with our Monee Chamber of Commerce. 8 years serving as president. There wasn't much going on in Monee that you didn't see this man having some involvement in and always being around. So I'd like to present you this. It says, in recognition of Lee Boswell for 8 years of service to the community as president of the Monee Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Thank you.
Good, he's gonna come around. Please. Please.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Congrats.
Lee went way beyond the chamber, helping us out at Fall Fest. We could always count on him. He helps out St. Paul's when they have their Oktoberfest. He's very community involved, and I don't see him really leaving. He can retire, but I think he'll be around. Thank you very much, Lee.
I'll be watching.
We'll move on to the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Item H1 on the agenda is a request by Bailey Ridge 4 LLC for an extension of time on a redevelopment agreement. The village is in receipt of a request by the developers of Bailey Ridge 4 LLC to extend the substantial completion date of the project from its original date of June 2019 as indicated in Section 3A of the redevelopment agreement, and to extend that to, their request is to extend it to October of 2019. Request is really just being made as a result of the inclement weather, which prohibited the advancement of structural components during that time. It's up for the board's consideration, and a requested motion would be to authorize the attorney to draw the amendment and to allow the mayor and the clerk to sign the agreement.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion on this? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item H2 on the agenda is a memorandum of understanding from Teamsters Local 700 representing Monee patrol officers. Previously, the board had agreed to conditions allowing the lateral hire of patrol officers. The attached memorandum of understanding between the Village of Monee and Teamsters Local 700 memorializes the terms under which lateral hires join the police department. The MOU has been approved and signed by the Teamsters Local number 700, and the requested motion is to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item H3 on the agenda is a request by Mays Q House LLC for an extension on the redevelopment agreement that they have with the municipality. On November 28th of 2018, the village board granted an extension of time to March 31st of 2019 to allow Mays Q House LLC to complete the project and receive a final certificate of occupancy. Attached, please find the second amendment to the redevelopment agreement, along with a letter from Clarence Lewis Jr. Requesting a second extension of time to May 31st of 2019 in order to complete the project and obtain a final certificate of occupancy. Should be noted that Mr. Lewis is handling the project financial matters at this time. So what you have before you is an action requested is a motion to approve and authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the second amendment to the redevelopment agreement.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on this motion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a result after several discussions with code enforcement, and it has to do with the placement of trash cans at curbside for pickup. And basically, what code enforcement has experienced over the winter inclement months is that, as we all know, on daylight saving time, it gets dark early, and the cans, by current ordinance, are not allowed to be placed at curbside until 7 p.m. the night before, and can be viewed and has caused problems over these last winter months with safety concerns and so forth. So what you have before you is, I believe, is a request for consideration to have the ordinance amended just for the placement of the trash cans at the curb, amending it from 7 p.m. the day before to 12 o'clock p.m. the day before. This would allow people to place those cans out during the warmth of the day, and we also thought about the summer months and kind of expected that people would normally not go out during the heat of the day to place those cans and would enjoy the evening hours to put those out.
And
So,
the light of the day.
yeah, and the light of the day as well. So that's before you. If that is a consideration, then the attorney would need the authorization to draw up the amendment for a final vote at the board at the next meeting. I'm happy to answer any questions, should you have any.
Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Second? Any discussion?
Just have a couple, then if we're amending the ordinance for the, putting them out to the street a little earlier, is there a talk on bringing them back to the house earlier or later as well?
No, we are not making any recommendation on that. They need to be brought in the following day by, I believe it's by 7 p.m. the following day, the day of the pickup. Yeah. So they could go out as early as noon on Thursday with the proposed change, and they would have to be brought in at 7 p.m. Friday on the day of pickup.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray? Sure. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you. You will see that ordinance appear on the next board agenda for adoption. Two things, Mr. Mayor, that aren't on the agenda. It's really under my report. The first is earlier this month, Kevin Daly and myself were able to attend the Will County Governmental League Lobby Day down in Springfield. It was a very busy time in that attendance. We were able to either visit personally with all of our legislators here in Monee, the 2 representatives and 2 senators, and those that we missed, we did make an appearance at their office, each of which received a copy of our shovel-ready projects as it pertains to items that we're looking to get done in hopes of the state presenting a capital bill. We did gain some information that the capital bill that has been talked about so much is having a little trouble getting off the starting line, but nevertheless, everyone seems hopeful and willing to do something. It has been acknowledged that the infrastructure in the state is in significant disrepair, and it's just how they go about addressing that and starting this capital bill process. The biggest concern that we voiced as a council of government, the Will County Governmental League, was that whatever is done is that it is a sustainable revenue source. In other words, we really can't afford to go gung-ho and wait 9 years for another capital bill. It just doesn't work well. We have those of you who are aware of the bridge problems that we have on I-80 by Joliet, and just drive our state roads, and you're going to see some of the conditions that exist. So we're hopeful, and I will say that the legislators that we spoke with in meetings were upbeat, and so I take that as a good sign. And Kevin and I beat the paths pretty good down there, so I just wanted to report on that. And one last item I would like to report on has to do with our application to CMAP for funding on our comprehensive plan. And I received an email today that indicates that Monee application still remains on the recommended list for the fiscal 20-year project. And the last step in that process and the decisions will be made on April 10th. So we have made it through 3 phases. We're down to the final phase, which will take place April 10th. That is significant for us. And so just stay hopeful, and I think we'll prevail there. Mr. Mayor, that does conclude my report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. We'll move on to the officials' report. Public Works, Trustee Gray. No report. Parks and Recs, Trustee Horn.
I do have a report for us as a board and to all our residents of the village. First of all, we have on Saturday, April 20th, we have the Monee Community Annual Giant Easter Egg Hunt. And that starts at 10 a.m. with coffee and donuts. And then the giant egg hunt will be at 10:30. There's brochures out in the hallway. I'm sure that's on the website as well. And then for kids, I suppose it's for kids, but it could be for adults, a Happy Arbor Day coloring contest. Maybe they're broken down in age categories. They are. So there's a contest for that. And then this is actually more for the adults. There's a residential electronics and hazardous waste drop-off event Saturday, May 11, 8 to 3 in Monee. Is that at the Village Hall?
No, it's by appointment only.
I know it's by appointment only, but they're coming to Monee. Where do we go for
I
this?
think they're gonna tell you when you call.
I see, okay. So you make an appointment, you call them up, and they will tell you, they're going to be in Monee. We do not know where, but they will tell you where they're at.
And I do believe that Diana's gonna publish it also.
And you're going to put this up on the website? Sure. 815-727-8834. 815-727-8834. willcountygreen.com is the website. This Saturday is the Monee Historical Society's 8th annual pancake breakfast. That is at Shoops of Monee. It is from 8 to 11. Tickets are $8. Pancakes, sausage, fruit, and beverage. So that's a fundraiser. And then this just came out, the Chicago Southland Visitor's Guide. Those are available here in the Village Hall. I'm not sure if they're mailed to our residents. No, they're not.
No.
But has all of what's going on in Southland, including events in Monee. And I'd like to call Diana up, our Director of Parks and Recreation at this time.
Good evening. I know this isn't really village related, but I wanted to personally thank the mayor, the administrator, all of the trustees, the staff here at Monee, and all of the residents on behalf of myself and my family for the condolences that I've received on the passing of my dad. I appreciate it. Monee has really shown how big their heart is. I've gotten cards from residents, flowers, phone calls, emails, and I truly appreciate it, and I just want to thank everyone. So thank you.
End of report.
Before we move on to finance, I want to personally thank all the trustees for all their work on the finance. It's a big deal. And Janet, I felt you were a great leader for that. It went
you.
pretty smooth
Thank you.
for what we had to accomplish, and it's really appreciated by all the department heads, the administrator, myself,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
And the village should be very pleased with that.
Well, we wouldn't have got it done as quickly without
Done our
such
due
a good
diligence,
team.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Now, your report.
Thank you. So as you said, Mayor, we did have our final budget meeting last night, and that budget will be presented to the board on the 10th of April at that board meeting for approval. Other things to talk about in finance, we do. I wanted to share some numbers from our budget comparison. The actuals and the budget. We're doing really well. The percentage revenue we're at right now is 88.92% of revenue used, and we've got 2 months left in the fiscal year. And the expense is at 82.54. So we're in a really good position there, and of course we'll report at the end of the fiscal year to see how that went. Other things I would like to talk about, just one other thing actually, was our Earth Day celebration from the Beautification Committee. We missed you, Bill, at the committee meeting. So the committee meetings was a group of volunteers. It's all volunteers. And we're busy putting together our Earth Day celebration. We're really excited about this. It's about cleaning up the village. It's called, we'll start with Team Up to Clean Up at 8:30. There'll be other events like trying to educate us and our residents on what we can and can't recycle, because our recycling representative said he'd rather you put it in the trash than contaminated what really should be recycled. So it's good to know what you can put in there, because it does cost us money. DJ is going to help us out and teach us how to make a water barrel, a rain barrel, as well as talk about water down the drain. It's stormwater pollution. He's going to have some information available for that as well. And then we do have some donations from Santa Fe Nursery. They've donated soil and plants, and we're going to make a plant pot out of newspaper and give that to all the kids. They can make it on the site there and take it home. So lots of fun things to do, really to help us to take care of the earth that we live in, and namely our little piece of it, Monee. And we also have donated free hot dogs and soda for the first 100 people who turn up. Everything we've talked about today has been donated, so it wouldn't cost the village a dime. End of report.
I would like to say thank you for running my wife last night after the meeting and saying how I didn't make friends.
Okay, thank you.
We'll move on to economic development. Scott Yurgis.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things.
It's not the
And as you can see by the agenda tonight, our economic development team has been quite busy, as you'll see. But a couple of things I wanted to point out. Since the last time that I talked about it, there have been 2 new business licenses that have gone out here in town. They're both, the first one is called Pigs Don't Wear Pearls. It's a children's author, and that's the title of her book. And also a business called Smart Choice Transportation Company. And basically that business is geared towards helping elderly people and other people get to medical appointments as needed. So 2 good businesses to welcome to town. Again, thank Lee for everything that he's done. I've had the pleasure of attending Chamber of Commerce meetings since I've been a trustee, and his energy is just unmatchable. And I'm sure that the chamber is going to miss your leadership, but I know you're still going to be around. So again, thank you. And then lastly, everybody always asks me for updates on Thornton's. There really is nothing new to report at this time about Thornton's, except that things are moving along, but nothing to report. So, end of report at this time.
Thank you, Scott. Building Services, Anthony Razik.
I finally have a report tonight. The BR4 pre-con meeting is scheduled for March 26, 2019. Also regarding BR4, anticipate road work and road closures beginning April 8th, 2019 on Ridgeland. Northern Builders on Cleveland has begun setting precast. A meeting has been scheduled for March 28th for the 5800 Industrial to determine a timeline for completion and acquire a final CO. A permit for the first phase of a previously vacant portion of the 25810 Ridgeland was issued March 13th. Phase 2 is currently under review along with civil reviews. And finally, 29 properties have been inspected for resale since the beginning of 2019. End of report. Excellent.
Thank you, Anthony. We'll move on to Public Safety. Heidi Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. A short report tonight from Public Safety. The Police Department is happy to announce a partnership with CVS Pharmacy and the Will County Pharmaceutical Disposal Program. There's a medication return receptacle, which looks like this, in the lobby of the Police Department. So for all of those who have expired or unknown, or somebody who doesn't take these harmful medications, they don't know what to do with them anymore, you can now take them right to the police department and insert them in this receptacle, of which we don't take the biohazards or radioactive or needles, but somebody at the police department can give us guidance on how to get rid of those things. And we're getting ready to, the police department is getting ready to announce this on Facebook tomorrow, and you will be able to immediately start using that. So, end of report.
Okay. We'll move on to the attorney's report. Larry?
Thank you, Mayor. I got 2 items for the board's consideration. The first item is an ordinance approving a minor subdivision entitled the Wilson Street subdivision. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I think you should be familiar with what's going on here on that lot, so could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
1905.
19.
Thank you, Mayor. The other item for the board's consideration is an ordinance amendment to the zoning ordinance on behalf of Wilkins Property LLC. The applicant is in the audience tonight. This used to be the property I think we referred to as the Budrick property. We're rezoning it from C1 to M1 for pursuant to request by the applicant. It came before the zoning board. The zoning board voted in favor at the last zoning board meeting, I believe last Wednesday. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Any questions anybody has? Wilkins does have a representative here if you have any questions about it.
No.
If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
1906.
Okay, we have a number of items under new business.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, old business, I have one item. Discussion and approval of an ordinance amending Title 3, Chapter 3, Section 6, a liquor license tabled from March 13th. This is our tobacco company would like to get a liquor license. David? We need a motion first? Oh, to remove from tabled, I'm sorry. We have a motion to remove it from
I'll make
being
that
tabled.
motion.
We have a motion, second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
No.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Just to remove the item from the table and the issue.
Yes. Trustee Horn?
No.
Okay, it's been removed then. So now, it's open for, let me see, we need a motion first to discuss it, so I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Larry, go ahead.
We can discuss it now then.
We can discuss it first? Okay, that's different. It is. So it's open for discussion, trustees. The gentlemen are here that own the establishment.
Yep.
I know they've taken out permits already and done some work in the building to the tune of about $20,000 worth to meet the requirements for what they want to do. That's about all I'll say right now. Anyone else have any comments?
I think Anthony was going to speak.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were concerned about Hawks Liquors. I spoke to the owner of Hawks Liquors, Sam Schuman. He is not worried or threatened by the gentleman opening up games or serving alcohol in his establishment. Sam Schuman said Hawks Liquors was about to pull out of Monee because they weren't making anything. If we weren't have given him his gaming machines and this special liquor license, he would have closed shop and left town. But since we gave him gaming and proved that special liquor license, it's paying for his rent. So he's actually making money now and he's staying in town. I gave everybody a thing showing how much money they've made just from having the video gaming there, and it's literally enough for him to pay his rent and done something. So that's all I wanted to bring it forth, to let you know that Sam Schuman from Hawks Liquors has no worries about them, because like he even said, from Hawks Liquors, nobody's coming in there hanging out playing games. This is the $1 million people have spent there. It's just customers coming in, dropping a couple dollars here or there, and then leaving the establishment. So like, we don't got to worry about people. I don't think anybody's gonna be hanging around the tobacco store, hours at a time. Like the other video gaming spots. It's just for customers to come in, spend a little bit of money, and then in return, it'll help the gentleman keep his business afloat like it did Hawks.
So I guess I don't understand, what does Hawks have to do with this?
Because people were worried of how it would affect Hawks' business, and the owner is not worried about it. And
Okay.
I just wanted to show everyone how
Okay,
Hawks is making money off of this, because it's kept their business afloat.
okay.
And if I may add to what Anthony talked about, I really wasn't going to say anything because everybody knew Anthony was absent last meeting. I was for this. When Hawks wanted to bring in video gaming, Brian from Bryant's stood here and thought it was going to take business away from him.
And it has not.
Exactly, thank you.
Hey, but Brian's
Enough said.
business is actually
Enough
gone.
said. Hawks is doing okay. There's another gentleman that is looking to help his business. Otherwise, unfortunately, and I'm not saying it because I don't know it, as far as his financial situation, all he's trying to do is stay in town. And as a village, we want to keep businesses in town, as I stated 2 weeks ago. So that's all I have to say. Thank you, Anthony, for being here tonight for that.
So one question for clarification. Are we talking about this vote for allowing both the video gaming and the serving of liquor, or is this strictly just the serving of liquor?
They have to go hand.
They have to go hand in hand?
Hand in
Okay.
hand. Yeah, the state
The
requires it.
license is restricted to beer and wine as a part of the video gaming license.
Okay. And because it's a tobacco store, is smoking prohibited while they're doing the gaming?
Normal laws apply to that, and the answer is yes. And the license, the reason the license is special is because they sell packaged alcohol as well. And this is a license that was developed for that purpose.
Okay.
So,
I have a question. Do they sell packaged alcohol now?
they do.
I didn't
Right.
see anyone else in there.
Packaged alcohol and then can be consumed on the premises.
No, no.
No, it's
Yeah,
can't.
that's where the confusion comes in, and it came up the last time as well a little bit. The license that's being requested allows the establishment to sell packaged alcohol. Separate from that, it also allows video gaming And in order to have the video gaming, you must be able to serve beer and wine only in a restricted area. You cannot take packaged alcohol that is purchased and move it into the gaming area. That's a violation of the license, and that is policed by the establishment owner.
Okay. Another question, the mayor mentioned that they've already done some renovation work, pulled permits and all that in anticipation of getting the license. If so, what kind of work have they done already?
Would you, maybe you want them to come up? They could tell you what they've done.
Hi to everyone. Before we start any work, we are in the village and ask the question about it. What is the procedure for the getting this kind of license? And one of the gaming ladies, she called also in a village, and they get the answer like, when you make the 2 handicap bathroom, you can start your application ready to give you the application, a business license for the gaming place. So we start our work, we get all the permit, we got all the works done already. Whatever they required for those, they say on the phone from the village, and we start our work. So that's why we start. Otherwise, we don't start before asking any question. So before I do any work, I be at the village, ask everything, and whatever I got the answer, I start my work. And I get the permit and everything, and everyone know about it. But I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
So,
Can I, hey, wait,
Whoa.
hang on, we're not done. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Where you're putting the games?
Uh,
No, I'm sorry. Where are you going to put the games? You know, I came in there when this first came up 3-4 weeks ago to look at it.
Right.
You have a roll shelving that you use for purchase right now as far as tobacco and whatnot. You have not done anything else with that? That row is still there, close to the wall. Your counter's here, your wall is there.
Yeah, what we do, like we make all the straight wall behind my counter.
Right.
So we make one wall to cover it up whole area for the gaming and put the one door. That way no one can under the 21 go allowed to do that. And that part go all the way on the washroom.
Towards
they
the
have
washroom,
the
right.
6 feet space for the handicap chair and everything after the players can play there.
Well, my question is, at this particular point, you have not done that. I haven't been in there in a few weeks, so I'm just asking.
That one I don't done yet
Okay,
because of I'm
you wanna
waiting
get
for the
approval.
answer. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like Hawks. What Hawks is, when you walk in their liquor store, you turn to the right, it's closed off, it's walled, and Hawks has a separate counter for purchasing or sitting and having a beer, and then they play games. There's nobody walking in with a,
They cannot buy
they
the
go
liquor.
buy a 6-pack of beer and sit and play games. So what they're trying to do is the same thing that we allowed Hawks to do. They're coordinating, roping it off. Nobody can walk in, nobody can walk out. He has a section that he's gonna fix up that it's only, again, every place is 21. So it's just, he's gonna have it, and literally, their counter's here. What he is planning on doing is right here, right next to it. There's nobody gonna be able to basically sneak in or out here without them knowing.
That's why make separate to no one like under 18 go in.
Exactly. That's,
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify that with everybody here.
Can I ask you, so do you currently sell liquor?
No, we don't sell liquor right now, but I do have the packaged liquor license already because last year I bought it. I'm trying to get the next door also to add the liquor, but the next door lady told me she is good right now, she don't want to move or anything, so I just pay the license money
I
to
see.
keep the license in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
did you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, and my only question too is that I know what Bill and Anthony had said last month when you were here too, that a business trying to stay into town, which we all want that too. But we know we're gonna have to write a separate ordinance and come up with a plan B for you. If we do not grant this ordinance for you, what is your plan B?
I don't have any plan B because of I start working, already get the space also. I have a 1,200 square foot store. Already I make the bathroom, so it's take my HEP's place.
So, just to be clear in my mind, did someone tell you you had to have the bathroom installed first before you could even apply?
Yes, sir.
Who told you that?
I be here in a village of Monee. I talked to the Kevin. My gaming lady talked to the Kevin also on the phone, and they have conversation on the
Your
phone and everything.
gaming lady told you that.
Yeah, I hired the lady to the talk to the city
Okay.
because of I don't know a lot of law of the city. So her name is Gina, and she talked to the Kevin on the phone.
Okay.
Kevin back to them almost after 2 weeks, and after that I start my work. I get my permit and everything ready to go.
Okay, just, next time, just talk to the village hall, so you can get
I
an
did
answer.
not know that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I come up
They're very
there.
approachable. So, your Plan B, now, I'm gonna say this, and I don't want it to sound facetious to you or any of the trustees, but have you thought of selling fresh fruits and vegetables?
No.
Because that is a need we have in this town. There is no, you have to drive, I guess, 3 or 4 miles to get fresh fruit.
We need grocery store in a town. If you think anything like big grocery store come up in a town, we
I'll
need
take a
it.
small grocery store.
But
Could
I
be you.
cannot open. That's not my business. That's
Okay.
why. Sorry, my friend.
I'm just wondering if you'd thought of that.
I can do anything, but no money.
So I guess what it comes down to for us trustees is we need to be proactive on deciding how many of these licenses do we want to have? And I kind of sense some, not necessarily from you, but veiled kind of threats that if this license isn't given out, that you will move out. I haven't heard it from you, but I've heard it from other trustees. I don't think that's the way we want to do business under the veil of threats that a business might move out. I think we have to be proactive and decide, okay, how many of these type of licenses are we going to have per this size village? There is another gaming place in the same mall. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
Why would we need 2 in the same strip mall?
Because the other gaming place is more of a bar where you can actually drink and play games at the same time. As
And you
his
do this
place,
here
won't
too,
be-
right? You
No.
would do this here.
No, you
You,
cannot bring alcohol into his gaming place.
but
can
you
only
buy
purchase-
them,
can
you
purchase
buy
alcohol
them,
there, but you can't play games and drink alcohol.
you can't, I just heard Bill say
No,
you,
you can purchase the alcohol, but you cannot bring the alcohol into the gaming section. That's it. It's just for playing games. That's where
Correct.
Lacey's or whatever, that's in the same place. You can drink and play games.
Hold on, okay. All right,
It's
Doug.
literally a bar.
Yeah. You can go into the gaming place next door and not play the games and sit there and drink, if you want to, okay? What this gentleman is proposing, just as Hawks I'm sorry, I don't want to refer to Hawks, because Hawks is a liquor store. What he is proposing to do is put gaming in, but with the gaming, put a section right in that gaming area where you can actually buy alcohol and stay in his store and buy it. And correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Yeah,
He's
you're right.
trying to also, are you trying to also start to sell liquor?
Not right now. Not at
Okay,
this moment.
so all you're trying to do is, okay, the occupants are playing the games, and they can walk over and buy a beer or a glass of wine, but they stay right there and go back and play the games,
Right.
correct?
In the gaming area only.
Correct. Okay, so inside the gaming area, they cannot buy alcohol from him and walk out.
right.
Now, we're gonna go back when gaming wasn't in this town, and at one of our village meetings, we went to church because of how bad the gaming was. And we went to evil, and it was sins, until we realized that how much gaming helped us in the lull of the 2000-ish depression. And we sat and talked about this 6 years ago. There are certain individuals that did not want this. Understood, it's your personal preference. This is a gentleman that, again, is just trying to stay with the times and get his business. And we only have this sheet from Anthony, but you can go on the Illinois Gaming site and see, I'll just use Mulligan's because that's what sticks in my head, and Brian's, and Julie's, and I think it's Lacey's. You can go and see how much money they make, how much goes to the village, and you can go to how much they make the state. The state makes the much. It's not like this gentleman or anybody else is gonna make $1 million in a year on this. Okay, again, to your question, Doug, he's not trying to open a liquor store. He's just trying to keep himself afloat. Okay, and again, and just not knocking anybody, go in and talk to the gentleman. Go see what he's trying to do. He's trying to take the right steps. I met him for the first time after our meeting. I've been in the store once, but I went in there after the meeting to see what he was trying to do.
How many machines are you looking to have?
5.
5 is a standard, yeah.
Is that, okay.
It's,
The law
5 is
tells
the
you how
max,
many,
yes.
Scott.
Oh, okay.
The minimum amount.
Okay.
So we keep comparing this gentleman's store with a liquor store, and it's not going to be a liquor store, but it's going to sell liquor and have gaming machines. The question I have, and I echo what we all feel, we want your business to succeed. We want you to stay in Monee. I represent our residents too, and there are many, many residents who are saying, enough already. We don't need any more gaming machines. We don't need another bar 2 doors down from Julie's or whichever one that is. We've got to think of the village and look at the big picture. Is that what we want for our village? Is that we want to be known for the village has got 10 or however many places that do gaming and liquor? I would love you to stay in our village. I would just encourage you to look at other revenue streams so you don't have to use gaming and liquor to do that.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, David.
I would just like to be sure that we are all clear on everything. The license that is being requested is a license that would allow you to sell packaged liquor and to operate video gaming with the sale of beer and wine only for consumption while gaming. The reason the packaged liquor license is in there is because this gentleman has a valid liquor license. He has just chosen not to sell liquor. The next move up is this video gaming packaged liquor license. That's why he has applied for that. I don't know if he will ever sell liquor, packaged liquor or not. That's entirely up to him. But that is how we got to this point. The difference is that if you're not going to sell packaged liquor, you can just apply for the video gaming license, which allows you to sell beer and wine for consumption only. It's a totally different license. But I just wanted to explain how we got to what we are discussing this evening. So the request is for that class of liquor license that would allow the sale of packaged goods as well as the consumption of beer and wine in conjunction with video gaming only.
And I just want to say that I never heard any word of you using this as a threat of leaving. Your business is hurting. Let me finish. Your business is hurting. You'd like to do this to sustain your business. I don't think you ever said, if you don't give this to us, we're leaving. That was not said. It wasn't a threat. It's a statement of the condition of your business. That's why you're trying to expand. It's the only statement I want to make. Any other discussion? Do I look for a motion now? Yes. I need a motion now.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Udris,
Yes.
Trustee Blue,
No.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez,
No.
Trustee Horn,
No.
Trustee Razik,
Yes.
Mayor Pop?
I will vote yes.
That would be 1906. I'm sorry, 1907. You did put up the.
No, it's amending.
It's a motion to raise the liquor license number by 1 to allow us to issue that liquor license. Is that right?
But I believe we had the ordinance for the board's review to increase it,
Understood.
so it should be 1907.
My mistake.
Okay, now we can move on to new business. And number 1 on it is permission to go out for a bid on Phase 2 for the sanitary structure repair, info, and infiltration.
Thank you, Mayor. That is an ongoing project, as it is indicated here. Phase 2 is what we're looking to do. The project consists of repairs such as heavy cleaning of manholes, installation of gasket seal covers, internal frame adjustments, sealants, and adjusting and sealing the manhole frames, grouting and curtain grouting of the manholes, and the list just continues on. The purpose being to totally seal our sanitary system so that there is no inflow and infiltration of stormwater. As we all know, our sanitary is processed by Aqua, and we get charged, for all of that water that infiltrates our system. So this is a budgeted item, and it is Phase 2 of that project, and we would request permission to go out to bid.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Okay, I'll leave the other 3 up to Mr. Wallace.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Items number 2 and 3, we are going to have to pass over those as the information was not supplied for the packet. So I would not ask the board to vote on something that's not before them. Moving to item number 4, it's permission to go out to bid for an elevated tank and well house. I'm sure the board is fully aware that the Village of Monee has applied for an IEPA loan for a new elevated storage tank and well house. We have been in this process for quite some time, and it's time now that we have that bid out prior to April 15th in order to satisfy some of the elements of the IEPA loan. So we plan to go out to bid on April 1st if this board so approves that.
Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
A second? Now, I know we've discussed this for quite a long time, months and months and months. Is there any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Okay, I have 4 items here. Is there a 5th? Anyone want to surprise me with on new business?
No.
If not, we'll move on to open to the public, non-agenda items. Anything you wish to talk about? Give your name and address, please, and we'll give you 10 seconds to talk. No, I'm just kidding. You go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Deb Oler, and I'm from Crete. I'm here on behalf of my son and my daughter-in-law. They called me. They're not able to make it. My son's at work, and Mary couldn't make it. Anyway, she called me in a panic. My son used to coach for the baseball team. My grandson, who is 12, played for 3 years. I guess my son stepped on a few people's toes, and they don't care for him, so he is no longer coaching. They were assigned the children up, my 3-year-old grandson and my 12-year-old grandson, or 4-year-old grandson, when the day of sign-up. They got a call today saying the kids are not allowed to play. And I don't know why. If you don't like my son, that's one thing. He isn't coaching. But to take it out on children and say that they can't play, a 13 or 12-year-old and a 4-year-old is a little bit beyond me. And now that they can't even go anywhere else because all the rosters are filled around, all the other towns. They were here day one of sign up and sign those children up. And now they were told today that everything is full and there's no room for them. And I think this needs to be looked into because it's not the children's fault. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think this needs to be looked into. I think it's discriminatory against my grandchildren, especially at this time of, what's going
So they
on.
did not get any kind of a reason or anything?
That they just don't like my son.
No, you didn't get a letter or anything?
Oh,
from
no,
any form of-
no, nothing. And if they didn't like my son, when they signed him up, during sign up, the day one, they should have said then, we don't want your children to play in our league.
You're being a little discriminatory too, because you might not know what the case is behind all of this. This is the first year that the Village of Monee is taking over the baseball and softball here. So I would ask you to give us half a week to try to figure
Okay?
this out.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know. My daughter-in-law called me up in tears. She said, how do I tell these boys that they cannot play?
So there has to be a reason for it, and none of us sitting up here.
Right? Well, I was told, Mary was told to come to the meeting. She could not make it. And she called me, and I'm here. So I'm just speaking on behalf of my grandchildren.
You want to answer?
So in response, would you like us to respond to you?
No, to Mary or my son.
All right. Could
Yes.
you, do we have that information? Very good.
Yes, we have a week.
We'll make that response. We'll
Okay.
investigate, and we'll call them and make that response.
Yes, because, like I said, everything is full now. Where are these children supposed to play?
Where's
Yeah.
what are the two boys' names? Just say it out loud, I'll get that information.
Oh. Okay,
That's her call. That's fine.
okay. All right, so can I go now? Can I just give you their names and go home?
Anyone else for open to the public?
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. April 2nd, people of Crete Monee School District 201U will have a chance to be able to vote on a ballot that was taken by a poll of people, more than 1,100 signatures to force a question on the ballot. If the board decides to restructure the district, should the people be heard, I would encourage the voters and everybody to vote yes on that. There's a loophole that allows them to build new buildings and restructure the district and things of that nature without a referendum. So please speak up April 2nd during your voting to please vote yes to allow the people to be heard to help restructure the district. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else for open to the public? If not, we have no executive session. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez? Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Thank you all for coming.